G'day Cephalon Collective and welcome to the week in Warframe news for the week ending 24th of November 2019. I'm Cephalon Greg. Well, the week started off normal enough with news trickling in here and there, and it ended up with a boom. So let's dive in, shall we? First up, the Saren and Valkyr Prime Vault has closed once again, only to be replaced by Ash and Vauban Primes. This is now available on all systems, so if you don't want to make any purchases, now's your time to farm for Ash, Vauban, Fragor, Axeletto, Vectus, and Carrier Primes. Very nice. Of course, there are the usual purchase packs you can make as well. Next up, the Old Blood, aka Update 26, has also hit PS4 and Xbox, so players on those systems can now jump in and start farming their Kuvalich, amongst many more things. It's a huge update, so dig in there to see what's up. But Switch players, there was a delay on your platform sadly. Rest assured DE is working towards getting this released for you ASAP. Okay, with Christmas just around the corner, many players are probably thinking about what to get their loved ones. Well, DE is here to help, releasing a new winter collection in the official Warframe store. There's a tacky sweater for those of you in cold climates, as well as an infested scroll skateboard and a 3-in-1 ornament kit, all of which can be purchased separately or in a couple of different bundles. So head on over to the store and take a look. Later in the week, just before DevStream 133, there was a strange post on Twitter. I'm not sure if it was intended to be an ARG or if it was just an indicator of the forthcoming dry dock, but there has been no continuation on this since. However, it was of course followed by DevStream 133. This was a bit of an unusual DevStream in that it was hosted by Rebecca on her own with some help from Steve, and it was filled with bits and pieces of upcoming content, some of which were due to be added in the next PC update, and some of them are due later. It did end up being a bit of a live stream of Steve and the team's attempts to get this next bit of content out the door. Yeah, it was weird. However, the best bits of news that came out of this? The next Prime Access will be Ivara Prime, who will be released alongside Baza and Axamati Prime. Personally, I'm excited about all three of these things, and Ivara Prime looks different, but cool. Rebecca then demonstrated more of the Sentient tile set, this time including enemies. The more we see of this, the more I want it, but let's face it, this is 2020 content. And while there was plenty of other stuff covered in the dev stream, the other major bit of news that was shown off was the addition of Universal Blink on all Archwings. It goes just over double the distance when compared to the ability that was on the Itzel Archwing, but it now has a 3-second cooldown. We'll see how it goes in-game. Of course, at the very end of this dev stream, it was also announced that the first part of the Empyrean expansion would be released on the same day to PC, yay! In an update called Rising Tide. The most important piece of this update is that clans can now begin the research for building their dry dock, after which players can then look to kickstart the new Rising Tide quest, which will essentially see them searching for and repairing an old war railjack. At the end of the quest, which will take players at least a week due to time gating, they will have a non-functioning railjack, but they will be ready when DE decides to drop the big update that contains the meat and potatoes of the expansion. Hopefully, we don't have to wait too long. However, that's not all! It should be mentioned that the update also includes an update to the Orbiter, so it now looks a whole lot better and has a space roof so players can look out upon the stars. And the update also included Equinox Deluxe, for those that love a bit of Equinox. And lastly, a new Platinum bundle was added to the game called the Origin Pack. This includes 200 Platinum and the Syandana you see on screen, but of course console players will have to wait for the Rising Tide update to get this pack. There is, of course, plenty more to the update, so make sure you check out the update notes. I've added a link in the description below this video, and I've also added a link to the whole dev stream so you can see all of the information. It did go for over an hour, so there's plenty I haven't covered. Before we head off to build our railjack, I'd like to say a quick thank you to our patrons, who help ensure the Cephalons have food to survive the long winters. Thank you. If you'd also like to help us out, head on over to cephalonsquared.com/support to see what's available to you. That brings us up to date for this week. It looks like the end of the year is going to be pretty damned exciting for all of us and pretty busy for DE. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week for another Week in Warframe.